Check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul?
Hey, Coach Jay, I can hear you loud and clear. How are we doing today on this violently unchanged day?
Violently unchanged day for sure. My account changed. I was long. Tape bomb hit. Daily loss limit. Violently red day for me. But I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Excited to get a couple of days off the markets coming up here. But we got a job to do. How's your day, Coach Paul?
Um, I got chopped here and there. Basically unchanged. Um, but my day trading, yeah, I lost. Actually, I got stopped out, and then I forgot I had another stop in, and got stopped both sides. So yeah, that was one of those days.
One of those days. One of those days. Welcome to At the Buzzer, our market recap, everyone. If this is your first time here, the goal of this segment is to review what happened for the day. You may talk about some markets that you have not traded before, but we believe our goal as traders is to identify opportunity. We want to see how we can take advantage of those opportunities while managing our risk. If this is our first time meeting, I'm Coach Jay, been a Topstep performance coach since June of 2023, trading for the past 13 years and in the futures markets for the past 6, and that is Coach Paul. Coach Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Coach Paul. I've been with Topstep since April of 2023. I've been involved in the futures trading industry for 4 decades. I'm here to share some of my experience, some knowledge, and assist you on becoming a better trader.
Awesome stuff. You are all our chat, our audience. We want to thank you as always for joining. And do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button while we're here. Coach Ray was you saw the fight for the number one spot in the chat. We appreciate it. Coach Ray, Andrew, Coach Ray. Now we got Investopedia main event. Coach Ray said, "Nice day in the silver today." We may take a look at that.
Yeah.
A lot of action today. A lot of action today for sure. Let's take a look at the economic events. It loads. On there we go. Right. There we go. All right. So we do know we had some planned numbers out today. US PPI came out this morning. Producer price index came in at 2.3%. Forecast was 2.5. Previous was 2.6. Month over month, and then those are the year over year numbers. Month over month came in at 0%. Forecast was 0.2. Previous was 0.1. Core PPI came in at 2.6%. Forecast was 2.7, and the previous was 3%. So coming down just a little bit, but the theme of the year, Coach Paul, the unplanned news takes precedent over the planned news again today. And maybe you could say
And
this one was
tomorrow.
planned.
And every day.
Yep. It does. The unplanned news is what moves the markets, what gets us going. That unplanned news, Coach Paul, was what? You want to talk about it, or you want me?
Why don't you? Because I'm a little confused.
I am as
Um,
well. We'll try to figure it out. Does Jerome Powell still have his job or not? I think is the question. And are there methods or measures being put in place to remove him from his job? Right. You saw the volatility earlier on today. There were some headlines coming out that said White House is moving forward with trying to fire Jerome Powell as the Fed chair. There's a lot of questions about whether or not the president has the power to do that. I think that they're separate entities. The Fed is independent, so I think as it stands, the White House doesn't have that power unless there is a cause. We know that there's a lot of questions about the renovations that happened to the Fed building, $2.5 billion worth of renovations. Is that going to be the line that they stand on to say, hey, this is cause to fire the Fed chair, or is there something else that comes up? The markets responded. And I think you heard Andre say it on Topstep TV just now. He said, they put out you call it a balloon, right? Like a test balloon to see whether or not, or to see how the market's going to respond. And the initial response was not favorable, which is to be expected. Go ahead, Coach Paul.
Well, it's funny you said it because I think it was a test balloon because right after that market break in his Trump's interview, he said, "No, I don't plan on it."
Mm,
So this is how this will continue.
yeah.
I believe they're bullying him, but I don't think whatever it is, he's not going.
Right.
Not unless they push him out. But
Yeah. It
I'll
sounds like they're gonna
tell
have
you
to find
this:
a way to remove him.
they would have to, and it's going, and they will. We've known from the way he acts before. You don't tell him no. No.
Right.
But the reaction is very concerning, for the fact that the rest of the world and the rest of the financial world is who's he going to be replaced by?
I've heard Besant is potentially in line for that job.
And who is the guy who's always smiling, like the economic advisor? I just got his name. He's supposed to be in the front of the line.
Okay. Yeah, who's the guy that's
Um,
always smiling?
he's not a banker.
Coach Ray said, "I'm always smiling." If I'm in line for that seat, I they didn't tell me yet, but I'll take it.
No,
Take it.
no,
Lutnick.
not Lutnick. He's the chief economic advisor. Okay, let's ask Chat GPT.
Yeah, GPT is gonna. All right, but outside of that news, we did have industrial production number come out 0.3%. Forecast was 0.1. Ton of Fed speakers. We had some bank earnings. Pretty much all positive bank earnings outside of Bank of America, with a slight miss on revenues. We had crude oil inventories come out. That number is always hilarious. Uh, because it's always a big miss. The bet is like, how big of a miss is it going to be? And we did have the president signing some bills later in the session as well. Let's get into the markets. There are 35 different markets we can trade with Top Step accounts. And today, to the downside, we had heating oil down 0.27%, RBOB gasoline futures down 0.56%, and copper, our biggest percentage mover, to the downside at 1.19%. To the upside, we have platinum up 1.63%. Soybeans up 1.8%, micro Bitcoin futures up 2.53%, and we had to throw it on the list. Micro Ethereum futures up 12.39% right now. It's a mover. Again, I don't know how much you can extract from micro Bitcoin, but if you are actually, sorry, micro Ethereum, let's just talk about that real quick. Let's say you're in a place right now in your trading where you just need to practice executing. Micro Ethereum might be a place to do that right now. With the huge ranges, it's not going to cost you a lot. It is, and I'm going to say almost here, it is almost impossible to blow an account trading Micro Ethereum, because
Oh, don't say that.
almost, you can do it. Hey, we could be surprised, right? You hit that reverse button 100 times, and anything can happen. But if you're just looking to kind of execute with some skin in the game, you don't want it to cost you a whole lot. Micro Ethereum might be the place to do it right now. It's moving huge, 12% on the day, and it's
Yeah.
not always that, but it does move. But if you want to identify, support and resistance, put on trades, have some skin in the game, might be a good place to kind of practice that, or just get back in the flow. Again, high to low, I think if you had 15 contracts on, you probably made $300 today in
All
this
right.
entire move. Coach Ray
Yeah.
says, "What's the tick size?" It's 5 cents a tick. 5 cents a tick
For now,
for now.
when it gets up to 20,000, it'll be a different story. So, um, nice move.
Really nice move
Um,
there.
by the way, not to change it, the name is Kevin Hassett.
That's it.
He's the
Okay,
director of the National Economic Council.
there we go. Awesome stuff. Thank you for that, Coach Paul. To round out our big four, we had crude oil up 0.27%, the S&P up 0.23%. A very roundabout way to get there. Gold up 0.58%, and the Nasdaq up 0.02%. Like nothing ever happened, because nothing did happen. It was just a rumor. All right, let's take a look at the Nasdaq on the daily chart here, Coach Paul. What are we looking at here on the daily?
still in that range. Although that wick on that break on that news, we've held value, but this is stalling, and the 20-day moving average is getting closer and closer. This really needs to close at an all-time high to really get going, and it's not. It would be that's for longs. That's concerning because it's like pushing on a string right now. Um, but look at that range. I mean, right inside. Um, Nothing much else to say.
Yeah, just an extremely violent range. I think this is why they say, hey, just buy and hold, right? Because all of the crazy volatility, when you zoom out, market's still just kind of holding on, just going up.
Yeah,
We are day traders here, though, and we want to take advantage of those, intraday movements. Um, but on a higher time frame, it's kind of still just going up. It's volatile. It's kind of choppy. A lot of turbulence in this area, but that's to be expected with the market making all-time highs. And the foundation of those all-time highs is uncertainty every day.
yeah. You would think. Well, that thinking has never gotten me anywhere in trading. Um, but it's here it's we're halfway through July. We're in the middle of summer. These are notorious summer markets. Um, so I, be nimble. Do not get greedy.
Be
Um,
nimble. All right,
so
let's take a look at today's price action. We opened up last night's session. Not a lot to talk about last night. We know we had PPI coming out, and maybe somebody knew that they were going to release a headline saying they were going to fire Powell. So last night didn't really look like a whole lot. A lot of chop, maybe some opportunity in the London session. We looked outside of this 30-minute opening range. VWAP was still there. Big rejection here. We see some volume coming in. London looked like a better trade, but I think the day really started with that PPI number coming out. Anything you want to talk about in the overnight, Coach Paul?
nothing really. That was waiting for
Yep.
PPI.
Yeah, pretty much waiting for PPI. All right, so here's that PPI candle here. Is the right way. Take these moving averages off. Move this over here to that PPI candle and kind of set the high for the day. Numbers came out pretty good. Numbers came out good, but the numbers are the numbers. The market's response is the market's response. From the time the numbers printed, we'll go down to a shorter time frame. Uh, Volume never left that range to the upside. Price did on the New York session open. Price left that range. Volume didn't. Talk about this all the time, Coach Paul. Flat VWAP, especially on this number. There's an opportunity to take a short up here. There's an opportunity. I didn't take this short, but there's an opportunity to, right? What is the market saying? We left that price to the upside. This candle opens up here. We leave price wise to the upside, but volume never leaves that range, right? Range bound market. Now, do I know that this huge sell off is going to happen? I don't. But what I do know is when the volume comes in for that New York session, they're just not buying it. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. Also, I mean, the news candle and the open were the same range.
Yep.
Well, now, as you said, if I waited for the breakout, and it didn't get quite 2 to 1. I was trading the S&P. Um, Came curled back, but I mean, this is you talk about chop.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it. Now, this is the kind of day personally where it doesn't work for me. I'm going to lose money,
Mm, you just know
but
it.
I'm not going to blow out.
Right.
Um, and it looked like it was going to go straight down. Now, I waited for the VWAP to leave the range on the S&P. didn't quite get to my um, target.
It's here. VWAP leaves that range. You waited for it to leave the news range, Coach Paul, or the?
Yeah,
Okay, got you. All right, so here, maybe here.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It went down lower, a little lower. Yeah, where it closed.
okay, got you.
It came close, but
Close.
once again, once we set the opening, look, we just went right back. Like I said, violently unchanged.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, there's there's buyers lurking underneath. Um, so we're still in an uptrend. Doesn't surprise me. Um, so I mean, if you look outside of that talk,
Yep.
really nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
PPI came in as expected, a little bit better than expected.
And in the
But I
S&P, we're
think
closing above that PPI candle. So it was just, hey, extreme volatility for a couple of minutes, but like you said, we're back to normal. The Nasdaq ended up positive on the day, on a day where we
it's
hear headlines that the Fed chair is going to get fired. What can really bring these markets down? Now, if he actually gets fired, that's a different story. But rumors are short time frame volatility, and I think this is kind of going back to the point we talked about for a while, Coach Paul. Shorts, while there are opportunities for shorts, we saw some nice shorts yesterday. Um, the majority of the short opportunities here seem like see money take money trades. Right? If I'm looking for this market to fall apart and trade back down to April lows because it's too high and there's so much uncertainty, it's just not the trade that we're seeing right now. Uh, but there's a ton of opportunity. We have 200 almost, we have 50 points to the downside in the S&P. We have almost 200 points to the downside in the Nasdaq. But if I start to get greedy in this, is where at least to the short side, you know, you can give back profits. And again, I was long. I lost my money here. So we were trading back up into the opening range. I was long here into this. Look, we were accepting back above VWAP from the New York session. Looked like we were going to accept back inside the opening range. This VWAP was a support. Headline comes out. Nothing I could do about that. Take the losses. But I want to find opportunities to buy these markets. X says I'm more of a pants guy. Anything else you got on the anything else you got on the equities, Coach Paul?
you know what? Rusty was. Let's look at Rusty again. Look at that. That really broke the hardest and popped right back.
Yep.
Finished back above the 200-day moving average. We were taught yesterday about the 20-day moving average. It's holding that range begrudgingly, but good. Look at the buy volume. Today's volume was a buy, and it was pretty good volume.
Yeah. Above the daily average, about 70,000 contracts above the daily average. On a
So
candle that ended up on the day, the Russell ended up 0.83% on the day.
yeah, that definitely got bought. We're still not above the 200 moving average on the half hour.
Tomorrow seems like that
But
opportunity potentially.
yeah, it seems like it. Let's get it get above it, that 200. You know what? Let's look just on the day time frame in Rusty.
For Pi, the Russell tick value $5 a tick. You said you want to look at the daily, Coach Paul?
No, just with day
Oh, just regular trading hours.
regular trading hours.
Got you. Here we are. See something here. All right, regular trading hours there. Here's today's price action on a 3-minute chart.
Look at that gap. So, but did we get a J trade on the bottom? No,
No.
that was. Oh, we got a hammer candle.
Yep, right at these lows here.
Yeah, we call that's an old school island bottom, where 90% of the body of that is alone. You don't see that too often. Extremes. You used to see it more often when there was only trading during the day, but interesting there. But boom, it was all panic selling in a environment of, you know, small volume. I mean, that was pure stops. Means they run the stops. That's but it got bought, um, rallied right back. But still, if it's going to recover, this is the one that's I believe is going to lead.
Consistently, we see it in the biggest percentage mover out of the equities, right? Either to the upside or the downside. That is a consistent thing. I know we don't talk about it much. It doesn't get a lot of attention, but right now, it is presenting a ton of opportunity, well as the other equity markets. We got a question from Top Step here. What is the best time frame to be watching for that volume during the report? For me, if you're talking about watching that CPI print or the PPI print or whatever, 7:30 data comes out, I still like looking at a 3-minute chart. And the reason is you get, that first 15 seconds is just going to be insanity, right? But you give the market some time to kind of develop, let price develop a little bit. We could take a look at it on the 1 minute. And it might look similar. Let's do it on the Nasdaq since that's what most of our traders are trading. Uh, Here is the first minute. Uh, in the Nasdaq, let's do a side by side here. Let's pull up two different charts, see if it looks any different. It's going to look very similar, right? And we're talking about the difference between 1 and 2 minutes, so it's not going to be that much of a difference. But we'll put a 3-minute chart up on the left and a 1-minute chart up on the right. And for me, the reason I like to look at it this way is because if I'm going to take this trade, this 1-minute candle starts to look like rejection right away. So maybe it's the short. And I'm just getting chopped up there too many times. So I like to give the market a little bit more time to develop. But whatever time frame you use, keep it consistent. Um, Price is going to do the same thing, whatever time frame you're on. The 1-minute candles are just a little bit too quick for my. Maybe I'm getting old. What do you think, Coach Paul?
Well, being older than you,
Yeah.
I'd like to look at the half hour after especially before on the news,
Yep.
and then see how the first 3 minute reacts. So today, on that half hour,
On the left side here.
on the left side, frame that out, and put in a 3 minute and frame that out on the opening, and get an idea of how they were accepting it. Now, they didn't accept it.
Yep.
So on a half hour, look, we wicked at those levels. So and then on the opening, went right back and tested it, couldn't find anything. Maybe someone knew there was going to be some announcement. But it was interesting to me, the half hour.
Yeah.
If we put it, yeah, if we put a VWAP, anchor to VWAP to the opening half hour.
Last night or
No, this morning.
okay. Here you go.
That left right away.
Hmm.
So I got short. No, the S&P was the same thing.
Nice.
Just didn't reach my target and turn around, stop me out.
Coach Ray says he
Okay.
likes the hour chart. The hour looks pretty good
Yeah.
too. I think whatever helps you make decisions at the end of the day. For me, I'm not going to solely look at a 3-minute chart. I definitely have 30-minute charts up on the side. My executions are going to happen on a 3-minute chart, but again, price is going to trade where price trades. You maybe pinpoint some entries on a shorter time frame. All right, let's go to gold. Gold had a pretty wild day today
Okay.
as well. What I'm realizing is a lot of these markets came. back down to support. The equities traded down to the Sunday gap that we had and just bounced off of there. Here's gold on the half an hour. Actually, this is an hourly chart. Let's go to the half an hour. What are we looking at here, Coach Paul?
Well, we had urgency last night, um, off the get go. Um, had a good rally, and so we start off in Asia. A nice rally. We had urgency that the VWAP left the range. Came back to what price? 50%. Um, what time did that happen?
Came back to the 50%
Of the opening half hour in Asia.
this was what time is that? 10:30, 9:30 Central Time.
Interesting, because it did come right back to the 50%, turned around, made new highs. But you know, coming in the London, we're at the highs. They turned around and sold it. But look at that opening range from last night. It held. And that news sent this market. I don't think this half hour bar does it justice. Like, it was like a 3-minute bar just when that news came out. That's now gold is a worldwide trading vehicle.
Yes, it is.
So if we use that as a measure to me of what they think of Powell being fired, there's your answer. What was it? It rallied 30, like $50 in that half hour.
Yeah, yeah. It looked like looked like gold was ready to finally make all time highs again.
Yeah. Um, so let's look at the daily. We're still at the 20 and the 50 are still there. Now we settled above those. Still not out of the woods to me. This market is still suspect. Um, but let's get a trend line from the all-time high.
We're drawing it here, or are we?
Yeah, you had it right. Two ways to do it. We could do it that way, or we could put a line chart, put it to the settlements. I know guys, old timers who do that because the settlement means more than. So really, almost at the same angle. One of the things, if you use a line chart, it removes a lot of verticalness. I know this is kind of strange for a lot of people, but we're creating a taco here. I mean, or a Dorito.
Dorito.
To get my chips mixed up here.
Taco in a bag. Taco in a bag.
Uh,
You ever had that?
oh yeah, used to have them at gyms for
Yep.
basketball.
Yeah.
I always have to have one. Um, so, boy, it's sitting right on that uptrend line. Look at that. See, sometimes if you're having trouble with it, finding the right line, use that line chart because it uses the settlement. Still, we're not out of the woods in gold yet. And then knee-jerk react, $50 rally in half an hour really didn't follow through. We look at that. Let's look at that candle.
At the news candle.
Today's daily candle.
Today's daily. Got you. Sorry. Here we are.
Hasn't. No, I don't know. Still,
There's a question here from JMU. Is there a technical reason why gold rejected at that level without taking out the highs? It's
But I would
just balance. Go ahead,
here's a
coach.
volume. The buyers stop buying. So a lot of what I mean buyers, when we think buyers, we're not just don't sometimes you just think that it's people coming in to get long.
Yep.
This buying can be stops.
Yep. Correct.
And this when you see a look like that, to me, it's almost like buy stops because there's no follow through. It's like shorts got ripped. We had some new longs, but really, where did we finish?
Uh,
Almost
right in the middle of the
unchanged,
range.
right in the middle of the range. Um, Great opportunity for day trading, though. I think this is the best market for trading, personally. But other than that, we're still in the range. Buy low, sell high. It's really what's happening. There's no. We did have some decent buy volume. Now that could have been because gold early. Let's look at that half hour. Before that news came out, gold was breaking pretty steady.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So, and it was on decent volume. So I still think most of that buy volume was short. But what do you see in there? I see great opportunity on both sides.
Yeah, that's what it's been. It's been a two-sided trade. A lot of opportunity on both sides. Today obviously was an anomaly day, right? No one knew that that headline was. Someone knew, but what it did, it didn't change the market structure, right? The market did rally on that news, but once it kind of the dust settled a little bit, right back in the range. We haven't changed any prices, so and on a higher time frame, nothing has changed in gold. Right? We've been talking about the range that it's been in. The it didn't cross yet. The 20 and the 50 daily moving averages haven't crossed yet. So nothing's changed. It's just in a pretty wide range, wide enough range to present opportunity. But even on a day where again there's craziness in the markets, we had a just above average range day. Uh, Yesterday's range wasn't much less than today's uh, with that crazy volatility.
Yeah, and that was a knee jerk reaction. I said I still it's heavy still.
Yep. So it
Um,
is
so do you use the IB for gold? And if so, what are the beginning and end times?
right. So
It's a
initial
very good question.
says initial balance for gold. If you're looking at the gold open, it is 8:20 Eastern time, 7:20 Central. To uh, sorry, that was probably confusing. Uh, 8:20 Eastern to 9:20 Eastern. Right. So here is the candle 8:20. Mark this high down to 9:20. This would be your initial balance range in gold. Right. Here's the first hour of trade. That range. That's your initial balance right there. All right. Again, the initial balance is the first hour of trade after the market opens. Um, for the equities, it's going to be 9:30 to 10:30, but that would be it for gold. I don't personally use it. I know Hogue does. Hogue will look at it. He may, and I know Coach Ray does as well. Coach, shout out
Anyways,
to Coach Ray in the chat. He may have been looking for an initial balance break once that's set, where we get one after that, that first hour is set here, we get an initial balance break to the downside. That may be a short opportunity where you get a one-to-one trade if you're risking the full initial balance. And again, like you said, Coach Paul, it looked like it was going to sell off until, of course, we got that news and the markets rallied from there.
speaking of rallying, Bitcoin's making new highs.
Is it?
Yeah.
But that is a nice, and Mike just said it, that's a nice initial balance short there, right? Let the first hour go. You're going to treat it like an opening range trade, right? It's just an opening range with an hour instead of
Yeah.
3 minutes or a minute. Same
Yeah.
concept.
One thing is that's tricky with gold and initial balance because it's traded around the world. Um, I would use Asian initial balance, London initial balance, and US initial balance. versus initial balance and equities where the volume comes in when New York
At the same
opens.
time. Makes sense. We got another question here. With all the action today midweek, can we expect a choppy day tomorrow? Let's take a look at the calendar real quick. What's on the calendar for tomorrow? We do have more earnings coming out. We have initial jobless claims, retail sales, and I'm sure we're not going to hear that we didn't hear the end of the, you know, how employment situation, or potentially tariffs as well, right? There are a ton of potential catalysts out there. Can we expect a choppy day tomorrow? It depends, right? I actually don't consider what we're seeing in the equities right now choppy. Uh, I think on a higher time frame they're range bound, but we've had some pretty directional moves, right? There's trending moves in this balance right now, right? We had a sell off and a rebound in the Nasdaq of 200 points. I wouldn't consider that choppy. I consider a choppy day in the Nasdaq when we're trading like 140-point range, and we can't get out of that range. But I can. What I expect tomorrow is volatility.
I'd agree with you, but expectations, um, I agree with that. I think it's going to be choppy trade, but remember this: if you need to execute a trading plan that with that, that's your focus. What I used to get caught up with is my expectation, and then you start it doesn't do what you expect, and you start fighting it. Like, no, it's got to go this way. So while I might have a feeling a little different than an expectation, feeling that it's going to be choppy, stay in the present. So trade the information as it comes. Like, because you can't control what it's going to do. You can only react, and reacting with a plan. So I agree with my expectations more of the same because we're in summer. Um, Summer markets are notoriously whippy. I think a better word for it is whippy. This market was whippy,
Yeah,
versus choppy.
agreed.
Um, so just remember, focus on executing your trading plan. It can start removing you from having to be right. When you have to be right, it's hard to be. It's almost impossible because you're always under uncertainty. Um,
We got a
all
question,
right.
another question here from and we'll go to crude oil. Michael Adams. A lot of people use London and New York. Do you ever mark off the Asia opening range and use those levels? Yeah, all the time. Um, you can use a lot of times what you'll see us do is use the first half an hour of the Globex Open, but you can use the London range as well, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central. You can use that as well. Really, I think what we're trying to identify in whatever opening range you use, why are people? I think the better question is why are people looking at that time frame? And in my opinion, it's when the volume comes in. So we're marking when that volume comes in and what happens afterwards. Right now, Asia, London, New York, a news candle. They're all going to kind of have the same effect. Volume comes in. What is the market's response to that volume? Um, but yeah, the Asia range is good to look at as well. Right.
Yeah. Look at here's the idea is in the financial world, or especially with commodities like crude, gold, they're used around the world. So they trade 24/7. Now, it goes 8 hours, starting with Asia, as we used to call it, as the sun moves. So Asia is the first to open. That's going to bring in volume. And if you've ever spent time in different parts of the world for a bit of time, it could, you get used to that time zone. Well, that time zone, traditionally Asia's slower. Um, but it goes 8 hours and it's called passing the book. So financial houses, commodity houses give it to the next 8 hour desk. It used to be the Asia desk, European desk, US desk. And unfilled orders go and new traders come in. So it's good to watch those opening ranges to get an idea, especially in the short term. Is there, and we see it a lot, right, Coach? I mean, we especially in crude. I think crude is dominated by Europe or
Yep.
specifically London.
I mean, look at when the sell-off started today in crude oil. Here is the London session opening range. First 30 minutes of London. Before that, what did crude really do? And we see this a lot, right? Crude, unless there's a headline, um, something out of the Middle East or something like that, in the Asia session, it's usually pretty quiet, right? So what opening should I be paying attention to here? Uh, does Asia make sense? Some days it's going to provide a trade, some days it's going to be chop. But as soon as London comes in, we see that volume start to pick up, and that trade,
And then,
pretty nice
and then
short
we
there.
got a J trade on the bottom.
Yes, we did. Nope,
No, one
to this
over
one.
or
Yep.
two over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Those above. This is inventories came out here, and we bounce right back up. So all depends on the time frame. And there's 23 hours to trade these markets, so ton of opportunity. You don't have to trade all 23 hours. It's probably advisable not to trade all 23 hours. Figure out what time works for you, and execute a game plan in that time frame. Then get off the charts, go do something fun. As I say that, Andrew in the chat says trade them all, sleep on the weekends. You could do that too.
Yeah.
Sleep 1 hour,
Good
trade
good luck
23.
doing that.
Right. Oh man. That's pretty funny. All right. Any other markets you want to talk about, Coach Paul?
Um,
How are we feeling?
let's look at Bitcoin.
Take a look at Bitcoin and then we'll probably wrap it from there. I think we got to most of the
Yep.
questions. Let's take a look at micro Bitcoin on the daily first to start here. What are we looking at?
Yep. Bounced right back in from yesterday's break. Um, and a nice buy early. Let's go to half hour. That was some urgency last night. We gapped open. There's something happened in Washington.
It's crypto week.
It's crypto week. All right. Well, look at that gap. That did not get filled.
No, it didn't.
We're over on the half hour. We were over the 200. And we held the 200. VWAP. Look at that. We had a sell off, but VWAP didn't budge.
Didn't move.
But once VWAP left the range, we had a nice little rally there.
Good.
Still looks pretty solid. Looks like it wants to get rally back up and try new highs again.
I am curious about this daily candle here. I know it is crypto week, and I think I saw something on the calendar that said, where was it? House vote on stablecoin. So that vote passes, we could see some volatility in micro Bitcoin tomorrow. Uh, Whatever the result of that vote is, we could see some volatility in micro Bitcoin tomorrow. Do we see all time highs? Do we see a sell off? This daily candle, which to me kind of looked like a blow off top with that huge wick
Mhm.
on the upside, we're starting to accept price back inside of it. Micro Bitcoin trading 120,000 right now. I am not a bear in Bitcoin by any means, um, but with the intraday volatility, there's a ton of opportunity on both sides.
Yeah.
More so to the
Other than
upside.
that, I'm good.
Awesome stuff. Let's take a look at silver really quick for Coach Ray. Uh, Silver on a daily. What are we looking at? What do you see here, Coach Paul? On a daily.
No,
Oh,
still uptrend, but it's silver. It's It's not like gold. Let's
Okay.
put it that way. But we're still holding that big rally from last week. Um, God, that was a big move. We reached what multi-year highs
Yeah, yeah. I zoomed out,
Monday.
and we haven't seen these prices in the last 5 years.
It looks very good. Let's look at the action for today.
Here, what's this white line up here?
Yeah, boy, see, that's why I mean, wow, it's unforgiving. Look at um, yeah, nice breakout. They're still buying the dip from yesterday's break. We had we had a nice rally, but boy, look at that one. Geez, off that bottom and went right back. Um, I'd have to ask Coach Ray.
Yeah.
You had a good day there. Um,
He said there was a good
yeah,
opening range trade. I wonder which, are you looking at that 720 central opening range as well, Coach Ray? So, here's that failed auction. Okay. Failed au so,
uh,
okay, so he's looking at the failed auction to the downside maybe, and then catching that long. Uh, Initial balance. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Coach Ray's looking at the initial balance in silver. I'm looking at I think we, probably look at that same time. 20. There we go. Initial balance break to the downside. It's a nice trade there. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. Coach Ray might have just added something to my playbook. We'll take a look at that. Um, but I think that's it. I think that's all I got. We got through all the questions. Midnight Live Phil says OMG. OMG, let's get out of here. All right. Coach Paul, anything you got before we go?
um, trade your plan your trade, manage your risk, and don't in these markets. Would you just? I'm looking at this silver. If you don't have a stop in or you don't bracket it, you're very vulnerable. It's like driving blind.
Yep.
So that's it.
Awesome stuff. For me, trade well, manage your risk. I will see you all next week. I'm going to be out the next 2 days. Coach Dakota is going to be here with Coach Paul to do the market recap. Shout out to Dakota. Thanks again for taking over there. Uh, See you all soon. I'm going to take some time off the charts. I'm not going to look at the charts for the next 2 days. I may not even trade on Monday when I get back. We'll see how it feels. But I am going to take some much needed time off. And we talk about it all the time. Take some opportunities to do some things off the charts to appreciate what we do here. So, again, I want to thank you all for joining. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We have Coach Hoop coming up in Discord. I believe Coach Robert is doing a class in Discord as well in a couple minutes here. Then we have Coach Ray and Coach Vince at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time. Uh, Coach Dakota, Slow Markets at 7:30. I'm going to see if I can join Coach Dakota tonight. I still got some packing to do. My flight leaves in 13 hours, and I have not packed yet. Uh, so, yeah, we'll see what we can get done. But thank you, everyone, for
You're a
joining.
jet setter.
Yeah,
You can just buy whatever you need when you get to the islands.
yeah, right. Yeah. Uh,
Much deserved. Enjoy it, my friend.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Coach. But have a great rest of your week, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Trade well, manage your risk, and we'll see you then.